Hello, my name is Steve, and I'm going to play another game in a 1943 APBAGo tournament that I'm working on. So I've posted a link to this spreadsheet template in the first video, and this is the second game featuring the 1943 Chicago Cubs visiting the 1943 Cleveland Indians. And I've already loaded the lineups, and I'm managing the lower seed, which I believe, or I'm managing the home team, which is the Indians. I believe they're the lower seed. I can go back and look just to check. Let's see here. Well, yeah, it's an 8-9 game, but Cleveland is the 9 seed, but they're the home team because I don't really know what I'm doing. Okay, so for Cleveland, we have Edwards in left, Cullenbine in center, Heath in right, Keltner at third, Boudreau at short, Mack at second, Rocco at first, Smith is pitching, and Rosar is catching, and Grant is the DH. For the Cubs, batting first, we have Stanky at second. Batting second at third is Hack. Batting third is Nicholson in center field. Batting fourth is Cavaretta at first base. In right field, batting fifth is Lowry. The catcher bats sixth, that's Livingston. Novikov is in left, batting seventh. The eighth is the DH, is McCullough. And the shortstop is Marullo, and pitching is Wise. And here we go. Okay, it's a 9, and since Smith is an A, that is a ground out shortstop for Eddie Stanky. Stan Hack's up. He gets a 33, which is a 7, and that's a single to right. And Bill Nicholson gets a 9, and with the runner on first, that's a single. So we have runners on first and second with 1 out. And here's Phil Cavaretta. He gets a 14, and that walks the bases full. So bases loaded, 1 out. And Peanuts Lowry is up to bat. We're hoping for a double play here. We got a 35, and that's a strikeout with the bases loaded. And Mickey Livingston singles past short. Stan Hack scores, and bases are still loaded. And Cleveland is a fielding 2, and it looks like the Cubs are fielding 3. So bases are loaded, 2 outs, 1 in. And Lou Novikov is up, and he flies out to shallow center. So that's 1 run on 3 hits and no errors, and Cleveland Indians are coming up. So here's Jeff Heath leading off for the Indians. He pops out to the shortstop. Here's Lou Boudreau. Cullenbine grounded out to the pitcher, and Boudreau's up now, and he walks. Here's Hank Edwards with a runner on first and 2 outs, and he grounds out to the second baseman. Top 2, Cubs are up 1-0. Clyde McCullough gets a 27, and that is a 5-3 ground out. Lenny Marullo gets an 8, and that's a pop out to the third baseman. And we're back up to the top of the order, and Eddie Stanky grounds out to the second baseman. So here's the bottom of second, 1-0 Cubs. Ken Keltner's up. He gets 33. That's a pop to second. Here's Jimmy Grant. He's the DH today. and he got a 20. He reached on a Eddie Stanky error. So we have a runner on first and one out in the bottom of the second. And Buddy Rosar doubles, and Jimmy Grant goes to third. So we have runners on second and third with two outs. And Mike Rocco is up to bat. Okay. So he got a hit. He got a single to center. And Jimmy Grant and Buddy Rosar score. And Lou Novikov's throw to the plate is late. And the runner advanced to second on the throw. So we have a runner on second with two in on two hits and one out in the bottom of the second. And Ray Mack's up. And he grounds out to the third baseman, and runner on second has to hold. And here's Jeff Heath. We're back to the top of the order. And he strikes out. So it's 2-1 going in the top of three. Indians over the Cubs. Stan Hack takes a walk, and he's on first with no outs. Okay. Bill Nicholson triples to right. Stan Hack scores, and Nicholson tries to score, and he is thrown out at the plate. And that's one down, but there's one in, so the score is tied 2-2 with one run scoring on that play. And Phil Cavaretta's up. And he gets a 27. That is a 5-3 ground out. Here's Peanuts Lowry. And he triples to left center. So we got second triple of the inning, runner on third with two outs. And Mickey Livingston's up. And he walks, so we have runners on first and third with two outs. Lou Novikov is up. And he flies out to Hank Edwards for the third out of the inning. So there was one run scored on, I believe it was 2 hits, 3 hits maybe. I got to keep better track of this stuff. I'm not really scoring the game. I'm just watching the game. So anyway, here's Roy Cullenbine. Leads off for the Indians in the bottom of the third. And he grounds out 5-3. Lou Boudreau's up. He grounds out 4-3. And Hank Edwards is up, and he flies out to Bill Nicholson. So the Indians are 1-2-3 in the bottom of third. It's 2-2 in the top of the fourth. And here's Clyde McCullough. Clyde McCullough flies to left. Lenny Marullo, he strikes out. Eddie Stanky's up. He's the leadoff hitter. And he strikes out. So 1-2-3 for the Cubs. And here come the Indians with Ken Keltner leading off in the bottom of the fourth. He grounds out 6-3. Jimmy Grant strikes out. Buddy Rosar gets a single. He's on first with two outs, and Mike Rocco's up. And the pitcher's losing a little bit of control. He's got the Z rating, so he would have walked the guy, but with that Z rating, it turns it into 2 balls. So here it goes, and Rocco singles to left on the 19. So he has runners on first and second with 2 outs, and Ray Mack is up. And he strikes out, so no damage done there. As the Cubs come up in the top of the fifth with the score 2-2. Here's Stan Hack. And he takes another walk. So he leads off the inning with the walks. Nobody's out, and Bill Nicholson's up. And Bill Nicholson swings and misses. And Stan Hack is out trying to steal second. So that probably was a poor choice. And Nicholson's up with 1 strike and 1 out now. And he flies out to center field. And here's Phil Cavaretta. And he flies out to Hank Edwards. So, in a roundabout way, the Cubs went 1-2-3 after a leadoff walk and a runner caught stealing. So it's 2-2 going to the bottom of the 5th, and Jeff Heath is up. He fouls off the first pitch, and then he wraps a single over short. So we have a runner on first with no outs, and Roy Cullenbine is up. And he hits a single to right. Jeff Heath advances to third, and Cullenbine goes to second on Peanut Lowry's throw to third. Probably should have hit the cutoff man, but he didn't. Here's Lou Boudreau. Runners on second and third. And Boudreau hits a deep fly to Novikov in left field. Jeff Heath tags up and Cullenbine holds. So now there's a runner on second, 1 out and 1 in. So it's 3-2 Indians in the bottom of the 5th. And Hank Edwards grounds out to Cavaretta, and Cullenbine goes to third. So we have a runner on third with 2 outs, and King Keltner's up. And Keltner grounds out 5-3. So in the top of the 6th, it's 3-2 Indians. And the Cubs line is 2 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. And the Indians line is 3 runs on 6 hits with no errors. Here's Peanuts Lowry. And he grounds out to, let's see, Ray Mack, that's second baseman. Yeah. Here's Mickey Livingston. And he grounds out to Al Smith. So that was back to the pitcher. And here's Lou Novikov. Lou Novikov gets 25. That's 4-3. So we have Jimmy Grant leading off the bottom of 6 with the Indians up 3-2. And he leads off with a walk. So we have 1 on, no outs, and Buddy Roser's up. And he hits a high fly to the shortstop, and the runner holds. 1 down. Mike Rocco. He hits a foul out to the catcher. Runner holds. So there's 2 outs. Runner on first. And Ray Mack is up. And he grounds out 5-3. So at the top of 7, it's 3-2 Indians. Here's Clyde McCullough leading off for the Cubs. And he walks. Man, Al Smith has walked a whole lot of leadoff batters. He's fortunate. And let's see, that's an 8 on Murillo's card. He bunts to Al Smith. He goes to first, and McCullough advances to second. So Murillo got the job done on the sacrifice. So McCullough's on second with 1 out, and Eddie Stanky up. And Eddie Stanky singles to right and knocks in the run. So we have a runner on first with 1 in, and the score tied 3-3 with 1 out in the top of the 7th. And here's Stan Hack. He's had 2 walks today. He flies out to right field, so the runner holds. And here's Bill Nicholson. And he's hit by pitch. So we have runners on first and second with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Al Smith has only faced 30 batters. He has given up 5 walks only struck out 3 and allowed 6 hits. Here's Phil Cavaretta. And Cavaretta grounds into the force out. So we go to the bottom of 7. It's 3-3. Indians and Cubs are tied with the top of the order coming up for the Indians. And Jeff Heath grounds out 5-3. Roy Cullenbine, he grounds out 5-3. Here's Lou Boudreau, and he flies out to right. So in the top of the 8th, here's Peanuts Lowry leading off in a 3-3 ball game. He grounds out 6-3. Mickey Livingston up. 34, he pops out. No, he strikes out. Al Smith has a Y rating, so he strikes out. Okay, Lou Novikov is up. He singles to right, so he's on first with 2 outs, and here's Clyde McCullough. And he hits a high fly to the third baseman. So we go to the bottom of 8, 3-3, and Hank Edwards is coming up for the Indians. He leads off the inning with a ground out to the pitcher. Yeah, they switch pitchers on me. They got Ed Haniszewski. I got a feeling he may have heard some uncomplimentary terms about his heritage, because I'm guessing he had some ancestors, might have been from Poland, just looking at that last name. I don't have a clue how to say it. Okay, here's Ken Keltner with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. He flies out to Bill Nicholson in center. That's an interesting choice. They have Nicholson in center, and he's a 1-rated outfielder, which in APBA, outfielders are rated 1, 2, and 3, with 3 being the best and 1 being the worst. The left fielder and right fielder are both rated 2s. Here's Jimmy Grant, and he strikes out. So we go to the top of 9 with Al Smith scattering 7 hits, 3 runs, and 4 strikeouts and 5 walks. We got Lenny Marullo is coming up, and this is completing the 4th time through the order. So after this, he struck him out. So I think I'm going to go on a batter by batter thing here until he gets a runner on. Eddie Stanky's up, and he grounds out to the pitcher. So that's a 1-3 ground out. Here's Stan Hack, and he flies out to Hank Edwards in left field. So now the Cubs have Hy Bithorn on the mound. He's a AYZ, and the Indians are at the bottom of the order with Roser, Rocco, and Mack coming up. Let's see what we have pinch hit wise for Rosar. Let's see. I don't see a real big improvement by going to the bench here. Let's see. Rosar. Yeah, he's my best defensive catcher, so I think I'm going to leave him in. Okay, well, he flew out to, popped out to third base. Here's Mike Rocco. And he grounded out 4-3. Here's Ray Mack. I think sounds like Diane isn't very happy with that, me not using a pinch hitter there. But he does have seven home runs. And he grounds out 5-3 as well. So here's Bill Nicholson. I think we'll have to look at the bullpen here. Oh, we have no pin whatsoever. Let's bring in Joe Heaving. I'm not sure. Okay, so Joe Heaving's up. There's Nicholson. Nicholson flies out to right field. Here's Phil Cavaretta. He singles to right, so we have runner on first with one out, and Peanuts Lowry's up. Kind of wonder if they're going to try some type of hijinks here. Oh, he grounded into the double play, so that helped. Okay, so we have a top of the order coming up for Cleveland in the bottom of 10 of a 3-3 ball game. And he grounds out to the shortstop. That's 6-3. Here's Roy Cullenbine. He grounds out to the shortstop, 6-3. Oh, and Lou Boudreau hit a triple. So now we got a runner on third with Hank Edwards up. Maybe he can bring him in. No, he didn't. He grounded out to the third baseman. That's a little disappointing. I'm going to leave Heaving in for another batter or two. Maybe let him pitch this inning. Mickey Livingston's up. He singles to right. So we got a runner on first with Lou Novikov coming up and no outs. And he walks. Okay, let's see what we got in the bullpen here. Well, I've got some Z's. I could bring in Salveson. He's got a Z, and he's probably not going to start. Yeah, he's not going to start, so I'll use him out of the pen. Okay. Here's Clyde McCullough. Let's make something happen here. Okay, he bunts foul for the third strike. Okay. Let's see what Lenny Marullo does. He flies out to Jeff Heath and right, and the runners have to hold. So here's Eddie Stanky. He's a leadoff hitter. Got a 363 on base. And he pops out to the second baseman. So here's Kenny Keltner leading off the bottom of the 11th. They have Claude Passot in to pitch. And he's a BYZ. And Keltner flies out to right field. Here's Jimmy Grant. He strikes out. And Buddy Roser, he flies out to right as well. So I'm going to leave Salveson in with Stan Hack up. Okay. Stan Hack grounds out back to the pitcher. Here's Bill Nicholson with his 29 home runs. He draws a walk, but he's a slow runner. So I wouldn't mind seeing them try to sacrifice here. I could use that out. He grounds into a double play, so that worked out well. So here's Mike Rocco coming up in the bottom of 12 of a 3-3 ball game. He leads off with a walk. And yeah, I don't think I'll feel comfortable hitting and running. Mac, I think he got the runner, moved him over. So we have a runner on second with the top of the order up and one out. Let's see here. I think he can do the job, but he didn't. Flew out to center field. It's a runner on second with Roy Cullenbine up. And he grounds out to the pitcher. So we're at the top of the 13th of a 3-3 ball game. Salveson's up and Peanuts Lowry leads off for the Cubs. Okay, he grounds out 5-3. Here's Mickey Livingston. He grounds out 4-3. Here's Lou Novikov. And he grounds out 6-3. Here's Lou Boudreau leading off the bottom of the 13th. Let's make something happen here. And he struck out. Might have been trying too hard. Here's Hank Edwards. He grounds out 6-3. And here's Kenny Keltner. He flies out to left field, I believe. Yep. Salveson's gone 3. But he's walked 1 and struck out 1 of the 9 batters he's faced. So he's been perfect through 3. So I'm going to leave him out there. Here's Clyde McCullough. And don't you know, he leads off with a single. So let's see. And he bunts, looks like. Marullo fields. He bunts to Salveson, who goes to first, with second baseman covering, and McCullough advances to second. So Eddie Stanky's up. He's got a 363 on base percentage, but he only hits 245, so I don't want to walk him. And if they do get a few hits, that'd put the game further out of reach. So I'm going to take my chances here. And he lines out to Ray Mack, so that worked out well. And here's Stan Hack. He's got a 384, but Nicholson's got a little pop, so we're going to take our chances with Stan Hack, and he grounds out to the shortstop. So we're in the bottom of 14 of a 3-3 ball game. The line for the Cubs is 3 runs on 10 hits with 1 error. The line for the Indians is 3 runs on 7 hits with no errors. And here's Jimmy Grant up facing Claude Passot, who is pitching his 4th inning of relief. He's faced 10 batters, struck out 2, and walked 1 and given up no hits. So he's been pretty solid. And Jimmy Grant flies out to center. Here's Buddy Roser. And he gets a single. Okay, Mike Rocco. Let's try to... He grounded. Oh, he struck out. He struck out. So Roser's on first. Ray Mack's up. And he grounds out 5-3. So here's Bill Nicholson leading off the bottom of the 15th, or top of the 15th, excuse me, for the Cubs of a 3-3 ball game. And he hit a deep fly to center field. Here's Phil Cavaretta. And he gets a double. So maybe Peanuts Lowry will bunt. I can only hope. He grounds out to Ray Mack, second baseman. That advances the runner to third. So we have a runner on third with 2 outs in the top of the 15th. And this is Mickey Livingston. He hit 253 with a 313 on base. So let's hope Salveson can bear down here. And he flies out to Hank Edwards, so he got out of it. So here's the top of the order for Indian in a 3-3 ball game in the bottom of the 15th. He flies out to Bill Nicholson. Here's Roy Cullenbine. He's got a 407 on base, and he hit 289. Oh, and he hits a home run, and this game is over. The Cleveland Indians win 4-3. How about that? Okay. Well, let's look at the box score here. Let's see here. Roy Cullenbine had 2 hits, one of them the game-winning home run. He scored a run and had an RBI. The catcher, Buddy Roser, had 3 hits. He was 3 for 6. And Mike Rocco had 2 hits. And Rocco also drew a walk. And let's see, Jack Salveson gets the win. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out one and walked one and didn't allow any runs. I've been to look at the Cubs, see who did well for them. Let's see. Bill Nicholson had 2 hits. He had an RBI on a triple. Phil Cavaretta had a hit. He had a double. And Mickey Livingston had 2 hits. Phil Cavaretta had 2 hits. One of them was a double. And Mickey Livingston had 2 hits and an RBI. And looks like he also walked once, but the Cubs gave up 3 walks and the Indians gave up 7. So that's a lot of walks to overcome, but they did it. So let's go up here and look at the bracket here. So let's go back to the bracket. And Cleveland got 3 or 4. Chicago got 3. So Cleveland will advance to play the Philadelphia A's. That'll be game 9. The next game in the first round here will be the 43 Tigers against the 43 Phillies. So thanks for watching. And if you liked it, click that thumbs up button. And consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you can receive notifications. Thank you very much and have a good evening.